It's a blessing. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for the Grenadines. It's a blessing. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for the Grenadines. It's a blessing.
Today is Saturday, the 22nd day of August 2015, and once more I'm with you at the Argyle International Airport site. Starting my journey here today from the southwestern end, that is the side where we have the Makoni Hill. As you would see here in this video, a considerable amount of work here done on this hillside, terracing this hillside here today. And more of it is going to come down as they continue with the works here at the airport site. But as I look on the runway itself this morning, I can see some new development here, because there's a shiner layer of asphalt work here in comparison to what is being done higher up. On the fourth hill, we have excavation work going on, and no doubt you're making preparation for the fencing area, the perimeter fencing, and what would appear to be area for the access road that will be running somewhere in that vicinity. If you look up there in the distance, the highest peak of the hill, it's an indication, and that is not the height where the hill was, that is part of the height, but to show you how much they have come down here to the level where they are now. This is just to give you an indication. And here we have the amount of work that has been done over the past few months here at this site.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for the Grenadines. It's a blessing. Say thanks for the Grenadines. It's a blessing.
We are here at Fort Hill where they are clearing this area, and I believe that somewhere in this area we're going to have the perimeter fencing running, and not too far from the fencing we are going to have the access road to Warwick. Now I am not quite sure as to how this road is going to run, but I know for a fact that the road is going to fall below the level of the runway here on the southern end of the airport site. Now some people are saying that the road will be passing down on the bottom where they're doing the backfilling down there, but I am a bit confused as to that, because if it's going to pass down there to go around the rock here, you see all that area you're seeing down there is sea area, and it means that they will have to continue to backfill that area to bring it out to the width to where they have this one right now. And you can imagine the amount of work to be done if the roadway is going to be passing down there. So my bet is the roadway is going to fall on land here where we are at this hillside, and here we are at the edge of the hillside. Therefore, I believe that the road is going to come a little bit inside here, around, crossed by this hillside here, rather than falling below. But they're going to cut it down to fall below the level of the runway. But until such time, we'll have to wait and see what will take place here in this area. We are just speculating, and only the people who are doing the work know the facts. But from observation, one can tell you, well, it will be a lot of work to put the road around this rock here at the bottom down, as some people may be thinking.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a blessing.
On one of my visits here, I would have taken a photograph of this point here on this hillside. Now, I don't know what this represents, but I know a surveyor's stake put here. It could be a starting point from where they start surveying. But anytime I see stakes like these being placed in any area on the site, it tells me that some sort of work is going to take place at whatever area these stakes are placed. And you would have observed that for yourself also. Now, this work here on this hillside started with the week gone there, because when I was here last week, it wasn't like this. They had actually started work on the hill last week. So here we are today on this hillside, and we have a caterpillar over there in the distance that is pushing down the stones there. Those stones will be taken over to the crushing plant to be crushed. And while on the flat down there, we have trucks being loaded with other stones and sand and so forth to be taken down to the bottom side of the stubs end down there where they are doing the backfilling. Now, it is more than likely that our roadway to Warraku will be passing somewhere on this hillside here. So as they take down this hill, but we are not sure as yet how it's going to work. We know for sure that as the work continues, we will see what is taking place. So we don't have to worry. As the work progresses, we will get a better understanding as to what is really happening here in this area. So we just have to be a bit more patient, and as I come here week after week, I will bring you the updates as to what is taking place here on this hillside in regards to the positioning of the access road to Warraku coming from the stubs end. Last week we had a number of these stakes being placed here in a straight line, and if you look back at the photos from last week and to this week, you will see how much work that has been done here over the past week. And I must tell you that last week Saturday when I was here, they have worked late into the night on this hillside and over at the Yami Hill, taking away stuff from here and taking it down to the bottom, down at the stubs base side. So here we have, and I am on top of the foothill, and over on my right we have the stone crushing plant. All these stones are stones that can be crushed in the stone crushing plant, and they are making the preparation work here in this area for the fencing, which we know coming from way over there where we have that truck is coming down up there. The fencing already start up there and will be passing right down in this area here. So what it looks like here in this particular spot is that they are making the preparation work for the placing of the fencing in this area. But as time progresses, we will see exactly what develops here, and you will get the information as I gather it from here at the airport site at Argyle. This piece of asphalt work that you're looking at here, this is on the shoulder area of the runway, and I am on the southern end, and on my left here, that shiny whitish piece you see, that is the turning head, concrete, made of concrete. Now here is the shoulder of the runway, and as you can see, the stakes are here already, going all the way up. So this is not where the plane is going to land. This is the shoulder of the runway. Now they have started to do work down here, putting on the final layer of the runway strip. But when I get up there, I will give you a closer look as to what has taken place there between the last time I visit and today. But in the meantime, we have work going on under the hillside. We have the terracing of the hillside over there, and also we have the drilling machine drilling on the hillside. And if you can remember, that white drill that was on top of the foothill up there for a couple of weeks, not functioning properly, well, it has been fixed, and it is actually has been doing some drilling work on the bottom side there of the Yami Hill. But when I get closer to it, I will give you a better. Here we also have a piece of asphalt work. This is on the outside of the turning head, connecting to the stopway and coming all the way over to the western end of the strip. Now on this stony area you're seeing here, this is a part of the shoulder of this runway. Just as how we have seen some asphalt work done on the left side, the eastern side, on the right side over there, sorry, the eastern side, we are going to have some asphalt work being done here also when this area is properly prepared. As you can see over there in the distance, we have the stakes already placed there to give you the alignment of how the strip is, how far out they're going to have to come with this asphalt work. So maybe by the next week we come back here, we will see some development in this area where the asphalt lane will be done here to complete this area. All the way around the side of this apron area, this turning head area, and right along both sides of the runway strip, we are going to have the shoulder side being asphalted as we see it over there on the eastern side. But for the time being, this work is not being done as yet. They are concentrating mostly on the runway strip, and because work is going on still in this area, they have not really done any of the work. But very soon we're going to have all of this area that you're seeing, the stony area. You can notice the stakes are being already in place going all the way down. This area will be asphalted to form the shoulder of the runway. Now on the hillside over there, if I can show you a little bit closer, they're doing some drilling on that hard rock. This is below the Yami hillside, more to the flat, where they encounter some hard rocks there. And the white drill, as I told you, that was on the hill a few weeks ago, a good time, needing a part. It has been fixed, and here it is. It was working this morning when I came down, but right now it is not doing any drilling. I don't know why, but we have on the top of that, here above the drill, we have a caterpillar pushing the stones over the edge and leveling down this hillside. So all this area where you see the red dot there on the flat, which forms the road for the caterpillar to get on the hill, all that area will be coming down. Now as I stand there, I just hear the drill starts back up. So very soon it's going to be doing some more drilling into that hard rocks and rock. And what they're going to actually do, they're going to put the explosive into those holes, and sometime in the week coming up, we're going to have some blasting here in this area. There was some blasting done here between around Thursday or so here on this end. As you can see, the drill is moving to a different point to drill another hole in it. So here on the southern end of the runway, the southwestern end, You are seeing the actual work that is going on there in the drilling of the holes in that hillside, where we're going to have explosive placed in those holes and the explosion of this rock, these hard rocks, so that they can bring it down to the level they need it to come down. Now I get closer to this area, I'm seeing something different from what I've told you earlier. They have not actually put on the final layer here. What they have actually done, they have given it a spraying of the asphalt spray in preparation for the final layer. Because if you look closely, you will still see the lip there. And if they had put on the final layer, this would have been flush. So what I'm seeing here now is not actually the final layer, but the spraying of the asphalt oil on this section in preparation for the laying down of the final layer of the asphalt work. From on top of the hill, it looks very much as if they had already done the final layer. But now that I come here on the flat and very close to the work, I am seeing a difference. Here is where the asphalt paving here on the shoulder on the eastern side has ended. But as I turn with you, I can show you up in the distance, the grader is up there preparing this area, leveling it off, grading it off in preparation for the continuation of the asphalt work here on the shoulder side. As you can see, all the stakes have been already, the place has been surveyed and the stakes have been placed there in position to give the line as to how far out this work is going to reach. Up there you can see the work is continuing here on the shoulder area, where they're going to do the asphalting sometime in the weeks coming up here to complete this section. This tractor you're seeing going up there, what he's actually doing is brushing off all the dust from off the runway strip, the area that has not been sprayed as yet. Now from on top of the Makani Yami Hill, when I look over and I saw this, if you look closely you will see two different shades here in the coloration of the runway strip. And by coming here all the time, I would have realized that this area was the area that has been already laid down. And when I saw this shiny strip here, I said to myself, wow, they have already laid down the second layer. But as I got close to it, I realized that I was wrong. What they have actually done, they have put on the oil spray up to this point here, from the turning head down on the south to up to this point that we are looking at here, little before we get to where the steps had ended, the pedestrian steps had coming down from the control tower on the flat there, right? Just in the area where the vehicles were passing to go over to Waraku, where the houses are behind me in the back there. So this is the point to where they get to. Now we see the the tractor coming down there, and what it is doing, it is cleaning off this area. So as soon as this job is completed, we will have the spraying of the asphalt being done here, the spraying of the asphalt oil here on this section of the runway. So you're seeing for yourself exactly. There's a broom underneath there, and he is spraying off the edge there. So this is on the area of the western side, and the area where just on the bank on my right up there is where we have the lab where they do all the testing of the works here on the airport side. Now last week when I passed in this area, they have already started to put up the mesh for this fencing, and up to a certain point, and they had just planted some of the poles. But this week I will come back. There is no work going on here actually, but they have already put up all the mesh for this section of fencing that they would have done here over the past week. Now in front of us here we see a utility pole with the high tension wire. We have the cable wire and the telephone line running to this pole. Now this pole is bringing all of this, the light, the cable and the telephone, from the main road here behind my back, where you have the main road, the Argyle main road. And what has happened here is that there is an underground duct for this lighting. Just in the area where the fencing is passing there underground, we have two manholes, one for the cable telephone company and the other for the electricity company. And what has happened early up in the work, lines have been run, duct have been run right across the runway strip underground over to the eastern side, where we also have another utility pole over there, and whatever service is being provided is now taken back over to that side and spread out to the Waraku area, back over to the Argyle IADC office and so forth. So if you're wondering why we have these poles here, this pole here on this side and the other pole over there on the other side, and this is the reason for it. The electricity is taken from the main road here, because if you realize it is not running from up at the north nor down at the south, so it come over here just below where we have the control tower area, that old road that once used to take you to Argyle, right down in that area, and come down here on the side, on the western side, goes under the ground all long before all of this work started, and back out on the eastern side and taking the electricity, the telephone and what have you over to the eastern end of the airport side. Here on the ground here we have one, this one is the telephone, for the telephone, and the other one over here in front of us, this one is for the electricity cables that run underground. And over there you see where I'm standing here, just outside, and this is strategically placed because the concrete section of the fencing will be passing right on top this concrete section here of this duct. If you can look with me, and over on the eastern side we also have two more like this over on the eastern side, which I've shown you some months ago, if you're following my updates here. So this is for you, just as a form of information, because sometimes you see things and you don't know why they're there, you ask questions, and this is exactly what it's for. It's bringing the current from the main road, taking it across under the runway over to the other side, because when the airport is completed we can't have any lines running over the runway strip. That is not acceptable. You don't know what the problem that will cause. So they have to get the electricity from this side, the western side, to the eastern side in some form of fashion, and the way of doing that is passing the cables underground, and it is actually passed under the runways, under the airport side, under the runway from west to east. Quite a lot of emphasis has been placed on the drain system here at the Argyle International Airport. Now this drain that you're looking at is running under the bank of the area where we have the control tower. If I look with me, right in that bank side up there is where we have the control tower. Now this drain is going to take the water from here right back down, and all the water from here will be running out over on the other end, just at the mouth of the 191 channel, where we have that underground culvert extending on the southern side of the 191 channel. Also connecting to this drain is the drain that is coming down from the main road, passing on the back side of the cargo apron and coming down along the bank side just below the control tower and linking up at the junction out there with this other drain and taking the water way back out to the north at the opening where we have the 191 channel. Here we are at the drainage way that is running on the northern side of the control tower area, and the water that is coming off from the hill, like I told you, and passing on the backside there of the cargo terminal building will be running through this culvert here. As you can see, they continue to make the carriageway, the trenchway for the continuation of this culvert. Now these slabs you're seeing lying here, these have already been precasted, already built a long time ago, left to be cured for this kind of work now that we're seeing here on these culverts. These drains are being built to the width of the finished precast covers here, the slabs here, and now they are put in place. As you can see, each one has 3 holes in the top here, covered with board. Now when it rains, the water will seep through there, no debris will go through, and in the process of cleaning, when the place is blocked, these slabs can be lifted off and a workman get inside there and clean out what is to be cleaned out. And here we have them going right down to the end where it links with the drain that is coming from up at the end on my right, just below the control tower where the steps area was there, where they have closed off, and this drain is taking this water, as I told you before, right over to the end up there where the 191 channel. So this is another of the drainage system that we have here, so that when it rains we won't have any problem with flooding at all here at the Argyle International Airport. Now the work on the general aviation apron area has been completed, that is the concrete works, and now they are doing this section, which I believe is going to be the hangar area for the aircraft. And actually they are doing concrete works right in this area, while down on this side the guys are putting in the moldings for the concrete works. But higher up they are doing some concrete pavement works now that they have finished the full area of this general aviation apron area. So as soon as they finish this area, the next stage will be on the cargo apron area, and already they have put their moldings in close by for the work that will be taking place in that area very soon. We see here we have section of this concrete work has been done, where I understand they're going to put the hangar area, I think it is. I'm not quite sure, but somebody can correct me. They have finished the area that was to be done over there on the general aviation area, and now they are completing this small section which only has about 2 rows to do. Here we have workmen making preparation for the continuation of this section, going back down to the cargo section, and they have already done the area up from the north side, come down. But when I get up there, I will give you a better look to see exactly how much work has been done and what has been done. but I cannot say exactly for sure what has taken place up there from this point here. So when we get up there, we are going to have a better look and a better understanding. It is lunchtime now here at the airport site, and everybody is gone to have their lunch. Now we are here at the general aviation area, apron area, and just a couple of weeks ago, we had some work to be done here in terms of concrete works in this section of the general aviation area to link it with the commercial area. Now this work has been completed with the exception of this little piece here that will be done afterwards. Now all these stuff here has got to be removed and level off the area, but they have already started the preparation work for the outer end of this culvert area, this side here closest to the inside, with all those steels hanging out there. They are doing some preparation work coming up down at the edge down there, on which they're going to put some 2x4 as a level to link with the level of the area that they have already done. Now they are currently working on the hangar area over there where the aircraft will be parked, but currently it is lunchtime, and around this time so the place is usually dead in terms of work, where the guys go and have their lunch for a 1 hour break. So this is what I'm showing you right where I'm standing here right now. Once used to be like the part that we have over there where all the stones are, like where you see in here right now. This area used to be like that area, but it was done after the commercial apron area was completed. This piece was done to bring it to the level where it's at right now. So this drain here, no doubt we're going to have it covered with concrete, and the concrete is going to go over on the other side. In some areas, I believe across in this area, we're going to have asphalt. But where you find the steels are hanging out, like this, on the outer end here, on the eastern side, we're going to have concrete. But where there aren't any steels, more than likely, they're just going to put asphalt. So we have steels somewhere down from the end coming up to a certain point, and behind me we have steel from a certain point going right back out to the edge at the riverside. So as the work progresses out here at the Argyle airport site, you're going to get continued coverage of the progress of this work as I come to you week after week, Saturday after Saturday, to bring you an update of the work being done here at the Argyle airport site. We are here at the taxiway that leads to the commercial apron area section, and what is happening currently, they are putting on the final layer of aggregates before we have the asphalt spraying and the laying down of the asphalt, the first layer of asphalt. They have put down the first layer of base stone already, as you can see, and now they are in the process of putting down the second layer, which is the final layer, compacting it, as you will see here with the roller. And here the stone paver is there. It's kind of stuck. Too much stone actually in front of it. So we are going to get a little pull forward so that it can start moving properly again. So this is what is happening here. Although it is lunchtime and some people are on lunch, here we still have work going on here on the lane of the final set of aggregates here on the taxiway leading towards the commercial area apron section, before we have the lane of the asphalt mix here to continue the completion of this particular area of the airport site. We are here at the 191 channel, the area where we have the two culverts spanning this gutter area. Now the water that was flowing on my right is now channeled through this area here, where you see the water that is constantly flowing down in this area is now running, and it is being channeled on the culvert here that has already been completed and filled up with concrete. Now this drain you're looking at is underground culvert here you're looking at. This is through this all the water that coming down from the road, and the drain from the just below the control tower that we spoke about earlier. All that water that is coming down in that area will be exiting right here in that culvert you're seeing. Now what it looks like to me here is as if the extension of this culvert here will be extending over in onto the concrete that we have here, because if you notice on the side we have steel extending up in the air, but in the center there we have a space, and from looking at it I understand it to be like this, that they're going to continue with the drain right across to rest on this space here where there aren't any steel, so the water can continue flowing over. But as the time progresses, we will see exactly how this pans out here at this section. But right now the water is being channeled in a small area so that they can get to fill up this area over here to continue with the extension of the runway. You know they have to continue filling up here, but the water has to run underneath this culvert first before they can actually fill up the area over here where we had the water flowing through the drain here on this side. Now you see work starts here by the filling up and compacting of this area where the water used to run through over there. Now we cannot see it anymore. And as time progresses, all of this area will be filled with dirt. We won't be seeing any concrete here, and the airport strip will continue on this area heading right up to the north. But they're doing the preparation work, taking off the topsoil and making sure they have a solid foundation here as they continue with the progress of the work here in this area of the 191 channel, as we continue the extension of the airport runway heading up north. And the changes taking place as we go along here week after week. We are seeing it with our own eyes, and we are understanding it better as we come here and look week after week to see what has transpired here at the airport. No longer are you seeing any corrugated steel frame, no longer are you seeing any gutter area here, because all of this area has been filled up. The concrete, the culvert is underneath which I'm standing, and as I turn with you I'm going to show you. This is where we have, this is a section of the concrete section, and all of here is like that up there, but now we have the filling up here of this area, and it is along this same area the runway is going to pass. Because if I turn with you and I look straight ahead up there where all those stones are on the ground, that is the path of the runway. So right where I'm standing here with you is the runway strip itself, where they are filling up here and compacting. They are concentrating mostly on this area where the runway is going to pass, so that they can have it filled and compacted and set in preparation for the laying down of the base stone. The outer areas can be done later on as the work continues, but this particular area here where the runway is going to pass, they are concentrating mostly on this side of the runway, of the spanning area. So to get it to the level of over there where we already have, so that they could continue with the runway. Now, when they get to that point over there where the vehicles are now passing that temporary access road we have to get to Warriku, I am not sure how they're going to work this out, because eventually they will have to close off this area to vehicular traffic, and they will have to make an alternate road to get to Warriku and to the IADC office. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this one. If they're going to put in the permanent road in the north first so that vehicles can travel, or if they're going to make another temporary access road somewhere else, which wouldn't make sense really, because eventually you're going to have to close it off. But as time goes on, we will get to see exactly how things are worked out here in this area. But I must let you know that eventually they will have to close off this area where you see this vehicle is passing to get back out on the main road. This is the road currently used to get to Warriku and to the IADC office. It is a temporary road, and the runway is going to pass alongside the same road, just as how they done it down there on the southern side where they put the apron. Once used to be the access road to Warriku and the IADC office, but earlier in the year that was closed off, and this new road was built temporarily to have access to Warriku and the IADC office. So as they continue upward with the runway, they're going to have to close off this road and make a new one so that vehicles going to Warriku and to the IADC office can have access to those roads. We are here at the exit side of the 191 channel, and as you can see, the water is flowing out here from the top up there. Is coming out here, and actually where the water is flowing down back to the sea is just a temporary fix here for this water, because the water is actually going to come all the way out here and go right back down and then turn left down to the sea. So all this bank here is going to be removed and making it a level or sloping, grade in a slope so that the water could flow down as we have it flowing here from the top up there right down to the bottom here. And the way it looks here as if the water has been flowing here for a good while, because we're seeing some green spot there like moss. And we have the water flowing back down into the drain down there and going back into the route that it was going through before, but this time it is below the actual area where the runway strip is going to be. So we have the plastering work has been done here, as you can see. Neatly done work, plastering. This was done over the past week on there, because when I was here last week it wasn't like this. And look as though the finishing touches have been done here in this section, and nobody is here doing any work today. They were here earlier, not too sure what they were doing some finishing touches, and it is lunchtime now, so everyone has gone for lunch. But the work continues here at the airport site as I bring to you coverage of the progress of the work that has been taking place here week after week, as we continue heading towards the finishing line of the largest ever capital project here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the building of our international airport at Argyle. We are on top of the petroglyph hill, and slowly but surely this hill is coming down. Now where I'm standing here This used to be the roadway for the drill to get up on top this hill once upon a time. But because of the continued blasting and taking down of this hill, you now see that it is not possible for the drill to pass in this area. It is not even safe for me to walk in this area, because this is the area that I used to walk to get on top of this hill from this side, from the 191 channel side. But as you can see there in front of us, the number of rocks that has come down, and this hill was all the way out there where you have those stones, and even further out this hill was once, as they continue to take it down week after week. And as you can see on the hill here, we have the drill that no doubt was doing some work, and we also had a drill down there, so we know we have the two drills up and running now, one on the south and one up here on the Petroglyph Hill doing work. So you may ask, if that is the road up there that the drill was using to get on top of the Petroglyph Hill, and now it cannot use that road anymore, where does that drill pass to get on top of that hill? Well, this is the new road now that has been done for the drill to get to that area where they actually is, because over there they couldn't cut any road, so they have to use here as the entrance road to get back to that point over there. And this is the road I am going to use now to get on top of the Petroglyph Hill, where I'm going to show you much more of the work done up there in terms of the drilling area. So I'm going to climb up this little dirt area, the road that the drill now actually use to get on top of the Petroglyph Hill. And the road is coming from all the way down there, and once it used to pass through right here and go over there, but that access road is no longer in place. So here am I up on top the hill after coming up that gentle slope there to get up here at the back of the Petroglyph Hill. Now all here where I'm standing, it looks as though this is going to have to come down, but to what level I don't know. I say it's going to have to come down because here we have a stake and I cannot go up on the bank there, and down there we have another one right there, and we have them in line, a few more probably over on the other side. But these stakes usually mark the spot where they are going to take down the hillside or do some sort of work, and I don't know how much of it, how low down they're going to take the hill, or how much of it they're going to take off. But I can tell you that where I'm seeing these stakes is an indication that work will be taking place in these areas. All these areas where you see these cardboard and these mount of debris are areas where the drill has already drilled the holes. So by next week when I come back here, this section of the hill, this Petroglyph Hill, will not be here, because in the process of the week coming up, they will be blasting in this area, taking down this section of this Petroglyph Hill where they have already drilled holes here in the rock, as you can see right before our eyes here. And these holes are being drilled. They have been done today. The drill is up here on the hill. I'm not too sure if it is functioning, but it is 12, it's lunchtime, so apparently the guys them are still on lunch. But by next week we come back here, all of this area where we see all of these holes are being drilled here in this rock area will not be here.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a blessing. Argyle International it's a blessing.
Now you have seen that they already start the filling up of this area with the concrete, and this is the 220 channel, the bigger area, the riverside, and they are in preparation, ready and waiting to do some more concrete pouring here. We have the concrete pump already in place, and one of the concrete mixer already backed up, ready to deposit its load of concrete mix here into the concrete pump that will be poured between these two culverts here at the river spanning. Already we would have seen where you have that gentleman walking up over there. That area has been filled to a certain point, that he's walking between the two culvert area that once used to be an open space there, but now we see it has been filled. We are up here on the northwestern side of the airport, and just behind me we have the northern turning head. Now last week when I came up here, I saw some surveyors up here and they were putting down stakes in the area over there where we are looking at. And now we see what has happened here over the past week is that they have graded down the area, compacted, and they're going to leave it. And what is going to happen later on, the grass is going to start growing up to look something like what we have in front of us here. That grassy area. So no doubt that somewhere outside on the perimeter out there, we're going to have the fencing passing. I'm not sure yet where that's going to be, but we're going to see it as time progresses. But work continues here on this hillside over there, where we have the bank side is still coming down. We have a number of trucks here that are being loaded with stuff and are being taken to different areas on the site. Further up north, we see the bank side still coming down up there, where the caterpillars are pushing the dirt over the bank. And closer to the turning head, on the northern end of the turning head, they're filling up that area with dirt and compacting it, leveling it off and compacting it. But when we get there, we're going to see better what is really taking place. Now here we are, right where I'm standing, it's on the stopway, and here where we have this work is going on the side of the stopway, we have truckloads upon truckloads of dirt being dumped there. As you can see, we have a truck coming in there with dirt. The grader is leveling off the dirt as the truck dumps them here, and this compactor here compacts the area to make it look similar to what we have done on the southern end, where they would have already done this sort of work. Now it's much easier for these trucks because the dirt coming from over the hillside over there, dumped here and leveled off, and a great deal of work is taking place up here. We have a number of equipment up here doing various kind of work. Over on the hillside over there we have caterpillars pushing over the dirt, and the front end loaders loading our trucks. All in this area at the end of the stopway where I'm standing on here, this asphalt area is the end of the stopway. We have seen here where this area has been filled with dirt and compacted, similar to what they're doing over there on the side, on the left hand side. I am seeing a number of stakes being placed here, and I know when stakes are being placed, that they are indication of something going to take place, but I do not know exactly what they represent right now, because we have already seen that the area has been filled with dust. I don't know if they're going to fill it up more, but when we see stakes like these placed, the place have been surveyed and these stakes are being placed here for a specific reason. Going a little bit further up to where the road is going to pass to see if any progress has taken place there over the past week. Here we are on just at the point where the old Argyle road once passed, and as we should know by now, there is going to be an permanent access road linking up to this new Argyle road, running across here, passing at the northern end outside of the runway here, and going right around on the eastern side, linking back up to the old road there, passing by the bridge. The bridge will be built back sometime soon, and that road is going to link you back to Warwick. So if you are coming from the windward end and you want to go to the Argyle river or to Warwick, then you won't have to go all the way back down to Stubbs, then come in at the permanent access road that they're going to put on the southern end. You can come in at this end and end up at Warwick, or if you want to continue towards the leeward side, you can go right down to the south end and come out just where the old building called Club Casablanca is located, where they're going to put a permanent access road. Seeing some stakes being placed in position, and these stakes with yellow tape indicates that there is going to be some, and I want to believe that where these stakes are being placed is a guide as to where the roadway here on the northern end is going to be located, but I am not yet sure as to how that is going to be. But as you can recall, there was the old Argyle road passing in this area, and I can show you a bit of the evidence of the road. And this road here was a very strong road. Right in front of us here is a piece of the asphalt road, the actual road that was the old Argyle road, linking back up out behind me there, where we have that piece there, what you now see here. Right, so what you're looking at right in front is where the road once passed, and this is a sample or a piece of it still standing here, doesn't want to move, or they refuse to move it, but this is what it is, and it is very strong. I don't know, when they built these roads long ago, they really put a lot of effort into it. Yeah, so where we have this stake here, this yellow stake with this yellow tape, I believe it's going to form a part of the roadway, or maybe the fencing, I don't know as yet. But as the work progresses here on this side and every other area, we are going to get a better understanding as to what is going to develop in these areas, where we are seeing these severe stakes with all of these tapes, which represent or indicate that there is something going to be done here, and we know that a road is going to be put in this area, and sooner or later it will have to be done to be able to enable vehicular traffic heading to the Warwick area and the IADC office. As the work on the runway continues up north, that area where is now being used as the temporary access road to Warwick and to the IADC office will soon have to be closed off, and a new access road be made so that you can get to Warwick and to the IADC office in the future. From here on the bank side, on the eastern end, the area where we're going to have the Carib village, overlooking the channel 220, as the work on the filling continues, Right now they are doing the filling with concrete, the concrete mixed with soil, what we call a liquid soil. And in the distance up there we have the concrete pump and the trucks. They are doing the filling up. While down here where bolts are to be tightened, we have men tightening the bolts. I guess it's almost break time because they have a break sometime before 3 o'clock or thereabout. But I am just here bringing to you what you're looking at here right now. Very soon you won't be seeing it anymore. So take in as much of it as you can, because all of this will be covered with liquid soil, cement mixed with sand and other stones and so forth, to cover this area of the filling, which we call the 220 channel, because it is the distance from the starting point down at the south to here is 2,200 meters, and you are seeing it right now before your eyes. A couple of weeks from now, a few months from now, you won't be able to see what you're looking at here. So this is what we have here at this area of the site where work is going on currently, and coming to you on this nice, beautiful, sunny Saturday, the 22nd day of August 20.
Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a blessing.